Good morning, it's Katina with Atomica Nuclei 10 Jewelry, and today's project I will teach you how to make this donut shape from tin, and then I will show you how I wire wrapped the beads on to create a really interesting earring. Okay, so this is the tin that we're using. This is just a smaller piece of the bigger tin. I will post a picture of what the tin looked like, but as you can see, it's kind of a gold-based, vintagey looking, and it's got some fruit on there. Okay, it was subtle yet had a little bit of dimension in it to create, it wasn't just a plain tin. So this is why I chose this one. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so here we have our circle disc cutter, and this one I got from Rio Grande. It is a Swanstrom Tools cutter. It cuts very nice holes that are very flush. It doesn't leave many ragged edges. So that's really what you want when you're looking for a cutter, because not all of them are created equal. Now these are kind of expensive. They're more in the $300 range, but you don't worry about the metal folding and causing a little lip along the edge. You don't want that. Okay, so I would invest in something that is quality made so you have less cleanup when you're creating your jewelry. Okay, so here's our tin. I've put our shim in one side. Remember, when you're cutting and you are wanting to make an equal amount of leverage on both sides. And so we're going to use this circle right here. So I'm just going to insert the tin and hammer it down. And then I'll put some lubricant on this. Okay, and then I'll hammer that. I'll punch that out, but I don't have enough room to punch it with my with my camera on, so I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I went ahead and punched that out, and let me take it out, and you can see. So we've got the circle punched in here. Now we want to go around to the other shape that we want to use, which is going to be the second to the largest. So let's move our shim to the other side, and let's pop this guy in here. Now, to make sure that we have our circle centered, we're using this, okay? Now, I got these from Rio Grande. They are center finding dies or something like that. They come in a set, so they've got one that'll match every shape that's on your cutter, okay? So you pop that in the middle, and then what that's going to do is that's going to center, we'll put this down. That'll center where you're going to punch on the bottom. See how that works? Now, you don't hammer that because these are plastic. So you'll take your die and you'll put your lubricant on there, and then once again, I'll punch this out and I'll come back. Okay. All right. So now that we have it punched out, you see that we have our shape that we want. Now, if you can make any diameters you wish. I've chose this one because it fit two of the bead sizes that I wanted to put on to wire wrap around it. But there's so many different shapes that you can make, and you don't have to center it. You can work those dies where you use a smaller one, and you can offset the circles. It takes a little more finesse, but you can get it done. Okay, so what we've got now is our piece that we're gonna finish. So you take your 400 grit sandpaper and you go right around and you sand it all down. Okay, I'm not going to do all that here, but you would sand it, and then you'd make sure that you wash all of the sanding grit and whatever you used as lubricant to punch the shape out. You want to wash that all off real good. And then you want to go ahead and spray this with whatever sealer that you're using. I use a clear enamel spray. And so you'll want to go ahead and spray this. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what else you the next steps are with the wire wrapping. Okay, so here we have our piece, and it has been sanded and washed and sealed. Okay, so it's ready for the wire wrapping. I am going to use just a little assortment of check glass beads that I had in my stash, and they are kind of a coppery and there's a crystal one, and then these are kind of brown colored. All right, so I thought that they would really kind of stand out against the gold on this tin. Okay, so we'll set those aside, and then this is our wire. I am using a 26 gauge solid copper wire today. You know, the higher the number, the finer the gauge. So I felt that this worked really well for this type of wire wrapping. You can certainly use different gauges and for different beads, and so you can find out what's going to work best for you when it comes time for that. Okay, but since this wire is pretty fine, I'm going to take and bend it down about 2 inches. Okay, and I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to kind of make that come together real tight. Okay, and then I'm going to come about halfway down, and then I'm going to take this is what I use for looping. Okay, I have a piece of tape there that will give me consistent loops every time. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to come about halfway down and put it on my measurement. Okay, and then I'm going to bend it over, bend it up, and then I'm going to wrap it around. This wire is really fine, so you can do this with your fingers. And then I'm going to just keep on wrapping. I'm going to try to wrap as close to the top as I can. Okay? Because we're going to fit this against this. And you don't want too much of this hanging out. All right, so then I'm going to take my cutters, and I'm going to cut that back. Let me get in here and cut it. Whoops. Okay. Get that trimmed. And then I'm going to smash it down with my pliers, because I want to get that as flush as possible. Okay, so we have this, and we have this tail, and you're like, well, what are we going to do with the tail? Well, don't cut the tail off, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay, so I want the tail to be on the outside, so I'm going to make sure it's over here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my my donut shape, and I'm going to put the wire through it so it's not wanting to cooperate here. So then I want to find where on this tin, since I am leaving some parts of it without wire wrapping, I want to think about the design, and if there's a plainer spot, maybe I want to cover that up. If there's a bad mar on the tin, like if you cut out your donut shape and you really liked the tin and something happened in the process and you got a scratch or something, you might consider covering that up. All right, so we want to come down here, and then we want to bring the tin. I hope I can show this. All right, so we've got both of the pieces bent right straight up like that. See that? Do you see how I've bent them up? And then we want to take the long one, and we want to bend it straight down back. Okay? And pull it a little bit if you want to. And then we're going to take this guy, and do you see how this guy's just kind of sitting out here off the side, and we got this one in the middle, and then we got the one in the back. We want to take him, and we're going to anchor him down. okay? And I'm trying to do this on camera, and I usually have my mag eyes on to see what I'm doing, so forgive me if it's not exactly perfect. I'm kind of blind. All right, so let me see if I can get this and get this cut. All right, you'll cut that tail off. There we go. And then smash this guy down, because that little tail, you don't want it, you know, hanging around. So I'm going to smash that down as best as I can. Now you can come back here with your loop and make it all pretty again. You can use these guys. If your loop gets distorted, don't freak out. Just come back in here and just kind of go all the way around it. It'll be okay. Okay, so now we have two. Can you see that there's two wire wraps here? But we're going to do three. So our pattern is 3 wire wraps, a string of beads, 3 wire wraps, a string of beads. Okay, so we're going to hold this here and we're going to pull this out really tight, okay? And then we're going to come up here and lay the next wire right beside it and come down from the back. Now, your back should always be as neat as your front. Always, always, always. It doesn't matter if you are altering tin with paints, patinas, inks, and you clean up your back. If you're wire wrapping, you make sure your back is just as beautiful as the front, except for it's not gonna have beads on it. Okay, so then we're gonna pull that nice and taut, and then I'm gonna come in with some really handy duty, these are like nylon jawed pliers. They're not tires, nylon jawed pliers. Okay, so this can help kind of smash down all that wire against the tin, but it's not gonna, it won't mar it, okay? So we're just gonna go tap, 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 okay? And that'll help secure that. See that there? Isn't that nice? I just love this part. Okay, so we're gonna pull this up through here. And then, since we've got 1, 2, 3, we're gonna put on our beads. And the first ones we're gonna use, oh, and let me point out, I just reached across the camera, sorry guys. Let me point out that since we went to the right on this one, we're going to the left on this guy, okay? Because we want them to be matchy. All right, put him aside. All right, so we're gonna use these little check glass, coppery, colored beads, and the beads that I'm using, they're about 3-4 millimeters, just because they fit against look in that space. It just looks good. All right, so I'm gonna pull that guy pretty tight. You can push it up against there, and then we're gonna come through with it again, and our pattern is 3 wraps. So lay that guy right next to the next one. Next to the next one. Okay, well, right next to the beads. And then come down here and push that wire through again. And when you're pulling your wire, try not to get it kinked. I'm going to the left, so it's a little bit awkward, but you know what I mean. All right, so there we're gonna lay another one. Let me look with my mag eyes to see what I'm doing here. All right, not too bad. All right. And then we're gonna come up one more time. All right, now we have 3, okay? Can you see that? And let me tell you, if you get them a little bit loose, or if they're just a little bit not as straight as you want them to be, you can come in with a nice pair of long needle nose, and you can straighten up a little bit, and you can adjust them slightly, okay? If you get them really wonky, just take them out and redo it. Okay. So now we're ready for another 2 beads, because we've done 3. We're going to use these brown ones. I don't know what these are called. I get beads from the dollar bead subscription, you know, you pay like $8 a month, and then they send you a bag of check glass beads, and it's always, you always get like some 3mm and some 4mm. And if you don't do that and you want to grow your stash of beads, subscribe. It's worth it. They always give you a nice assortment. And sometimes they'll give you like a 3mm and a 4mm of the same color, and that's really great. Okay, so we've got him wrapped once, wrapped twice, wrapped 3 times a lady here. All right, now we're gonna go for what I wanted to be a pop of color here. And that's just a crystal bead. It's still a check glass bead, but it's like a half crystal, half silver. If I can get it on my little. So for me, I just thought it added some dimension because I've got some copper and I got some Bren, and I just wanted to pop in the middle. And so that's why I chose it. All right, so now we're gonna come around here, and we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. All right, now I'm gonna scoot these guys up just a smidge, put them together a little bit. Make sure my back is beautiful. All right, now let's end our pattern. We'll put these 2 brown ones on there. Okay, so while I'm trying to get these beads on here because they're a little finicky, I want to tell you that if you decide to do like some wire wrapping like this on these on a donut shape out of tin, remember, you can alter the tin before you even start this process. If you want to put a really cool embossed design on this, go for it. If you want to put some stamping on one side, that'd be beautiful. If you want to patina some of it, oh yeah, go for it. You know, when you're creating jewelry, sometimes just thinking outside the box and what can I do next, okay? So let's wrap him 3 times. I can't wait I just got these little center disc things for Christmas. So this is like the first time I've used them. I've wanted to use them for like a month, well, almost a month now, but I just hadn't had time. So when I was thinking of my new video to share, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a donut and do some wire wrapping on it because that's just so cool. Okay, so now do we have 3? I've been talking and I can't really see. Yes, we have 3. Put my mag eyes on. If you guys don't know what mag eyes are, my husband says they're the nerdiest magnifying glass that you can possibly buy. It's a headband and the magnifiers are on there like glasses, but you can like move them up and down. So if you are working and you just need to see, you know, intricate stuff sometimes, then you can see it. And I just popped that bead off into the wild blue yonder, so I'm glad I had a stash of them nearby. There we go. Get that last bead on there. All right, now we're gonna do 3, and then we're gonna be good. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we can see if we've got them about equal. You know, this guy here, he can be, and if we need to, we can like move these down a little bit. They can be adjusted slightly. But we can see if we've kind of got them in the right. Oh yeah, look at that. We didn't do too bad. They're pretty even. I was kind of guesstimating on that is too. Okay, see, look at her back. Can you see that? It looks really pretty nice. Okay, so what we've got to do, and guys, this is a really finicky part, and I'm gonna try to do it on camera, but it's kind of hard because, like I said, I have to have my guys to do this finicky stuff. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna take this tail and we're gonna loop it around these two last wraps on the donut. All right, you're gonna want to wrap it around, and then you're gonna want to pull it tight, and then you're gonna wrap it around 1 or 2 more times depending on what you can do. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this on camera, but I gotta see what I'm doing too, so bear with me. You want to go under 2. All right, I got it under 1. There's the second one. Okay, this isn't easy. It's not really hard. You just have to have your eyes right up there looking at it. All right, so if you're like me, you need your mag eyes. All right, now you want to pull it down and over, because what you want is to make sure that these guys here still lay the way they're supposed to. And if not, you need to take your little wire, your little needle nose wires, and you need to straighten things out. Okay, and then push it down. I'm trying to get this on camera. I hope you're okay. All right, so I've kind of smashed it down a little bit, and then we've got this guy here. All right, I don't even know if I'm focusing. I'm hoping. I'm trying to look through the my phone for the video, and I'm trying to look through my mag guys to make sure I know what I'm doing here. All right, so pull it and then take it across. All right, very neatly, and then slip that sucker through there one more time. Well, maybe 2, but we'll see what we can do. I think I have to clip that. I think my wire here on the end is just too bent, and I gotta clip it so I can get a good end to stick through here again. And like I said, this is kind of fiddly, but here we go. All right. Now pull it tight right next to that one, and over and back. Okay, now you want these to be laying pretty good. We've got a little bit of a loop there, but we can smash that down. So let's just go for one more. Let me trim a little bit, and then make it one more. Get it, but I can't get it. There we go. Well, there we go. Hold everything steady, pull. All right, now we've got that one little loop right there. Let's just smash him down. He'll look just fine like that. All right, so we've got our back, pretty beautiful. All right, we're gonna snip this guy real close down here, okay? And then we're gonna take our needle nose and we're just gonna kind of try to smash everything together real nice. We want that real neat. We wanna run our finger over it to make sure it doesn't catch on anything. The last thing we want to do is hurt somebody with our creations. All right, so then look at that. Look at that. Yay! We have 2 matching wire wrapped donuts that we created out of 10. And We have put some beautiful check glass beads on there. Now all we need to do is make some ear wires, pop these suckers on there, and wear them. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the copper before I go. This copper, as you see, it's real shiny. Okay, if you want to age your copper, okay, you can boil a couple of eggs, put them in a plastic bag, smash them up, pop these suckers in there, and leave them. Okay, now it'll turn brown. It'll patina it. If you leave them in there for a long time, the color will get kind of gray. So kind of watch it to see what kind of patina that you want. But yeah, you could totally age these and that with the, I do it with the boiled eggs all the time. It stinks, but it makes some beautiful jewelry. So anyway, here you go. Hope this is some inspiration for you. If you don't already have a cutter, get one. Now, if you are thinking about getting these center finders for the disc cutter, just keep in mind that if your disc cutter is in like millimeters or if it's in inches, you'll want to order these accordingly. And these are about $60. So these are inexpensive if you already have a disc cutter. Just make sure that you're ordering, like I said, the right size to match your cutter. So anyway, I hope you guys are inspired, and I can't wait to think of what to do for February. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Y'all enjoy your day. Bye.